Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your girl, Lakithia Nicole with Lakithia Nicole Talk, and I am super excited. I have Queens, New York hot DJ, Hot Rod, in the building with me today, and I'm super excited to have him join us live because this allows me to also be a part of music, which is my first love and passion. And DJ Hot Rod is amazing DJ. I got a chance to read up on his story and read some of the things that he's done, and he has a great, basically a great bio. And I'm going to allow him to tell you guys more, but we're going to get right into it. So thank you, Hot Rod, for
Thanks
being
for having me.
here.
This beautiful studio, and I'm looking forward to this, wonderful interview. Where you want to get started? I mean, this thing is a heck of a story. Quite a mission so far.
Yeah, so we can definitely just get started with letting the people know. I personally saw that you're from Queens, New York, but I would definitely love for you to tell the people a bit about yourself,
Okay.
those who don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure. For those who don't know, I'm a Queens-based DJ originally. My dad was a DJ. He passed it on to me at the age of about 11 or 12. And I think I got my first set of turntables at 13. At that time, him and my mom was like separated, so I was in like Long Island City. But the first 13 years of my life, definitely spent it in South Jamaica, Queens, where 50 Cent is from, Rochdale,
Amazing.
that area, Baisley,
Amazing.
Rockaway Boulevard, and we did a little stint in Far Rockaway. It was a little too rough for me as a kid, though. I was always a different type of kid. I was like, goes into art. Not like performing art, but just culinary arts. Basically
Yeah.
drawing, anything by sight, so forth and so on. So I was introduced to music at a young age in elementary school with playing the violin and all those other type of string instruments, and I felt I was excelled above the rest with that. Working with the
Amazing.
music, being able to read music.
Yeah.
That's like a different thing.
Yeah.
Some people now, it's like DJing. It's
Yeah.
like get the laptop, get
Feel
the music and press buttons. But before that, I think I had the better introduction to music. Like I said, by learning to read music, I learned to play instruments, and then my dad teaching me from vinyl records when those were out. All the way up until now, and I knew I didn't take care of my records too well from a young age because I knew that the DJing would eventually transform into something else. Like when the CDs came out, and everybody was playing with CDs, that was easier. You could put multiple songs on one. As with the records, it's like 5 crates, and they're like 80 pounds each, and you got to figure it out. But that was a mission, and especially as being a young DJ at the age of about 15, 16, I could consider myself being a professional already because, I've been, practicing since 13. So like 4 or 5 years, I was already experienced.
Wow.
And I started doing all of my friends' Sweet 16s and kid events. All the events my dad didn't want to do was the ones, and excuse me, was the ones that I was definitely, working on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. I mean, Queens was rough for me. It really was fitting in. I always had a thing for the females, from a young age. My mom was very busy, and my house was like the after school program, if you understand what I'm saying. But I'm saying that to say, being a popular guy and DJing all the events and stuff like that, it's a heck of a journey. And then, high school events and stuff like that. And now, it's supposed to be going on my 20th year soon of playing music.
Amazing.
It's something because I haven't stopped. I always found somewhere else or some new way to reinvent myself. A stint of doing professional events and as well as the dancer parties. And it's just bar mitzvahs, you name it. And like I said, I got a different type of love for music, but any more questions you want to ask me? Because I know it's certain things that I probably didn't hit on, but I'm definitely looking forward to answering those today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to know, who was your inspiration to become a DJ?
All right, once my dad said I was better than him, I had to find somebody else that was maybe better or bigger. And the first person on my list, I would have to say, was Funkmaster Flex. Like, everybody loved Flex when I was coming up in the 90s and early 2000s. He was the man,
Yeah.
I always wanted to be, try to go home and scratch like them and cut like them, and even try to talk like them a little bit. Because I realized, like, good DJs are good, but nobody likes the quiet DJ doesn't say anything. Like, sometimes your voice could be a best form of instrument when you're DJing. Like, before sound effects and all that stuff, you had to say, all my ladies say ho, ho, and then you drop a record, and or the roof is on fire. You could always rev the crowd up with a little bit of, fanfare. You got to
Yeah.
have a little flair with
Yeah.
your stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So definitely want to say flex. Mr. C was also one of my greater DJs. Besides, what people think about him, whatever stuff he got caught up in. But when it came to the talent and the skills, he was definitely a foot above the rest of them, another step ahead.
Yeah. So I know that you're a DJ, but did you have a passion? Did you ever have inspiration to want to actually be on stage, perform, write your own music and things like that?
I've had those dreams,
Okay.
I'm not gonna say a pipe dream because this is gonna happen for me. However, I feel like most DJs that I've met that do music, they automatically hit right away because they have DJ friends. And now I feel like this is the perfect time. Like,
Yeah.
2021, yes, definitely had to put out music. I think once my dad mentioned, like, hey son, maybe you should do a line dance. I'm like, a line dance? Because that's not the cool thing. But realistically, that's the best way, to go viral. And also because, like, he's thinking ahead of time, like, to go viral and also to be able to be booked around the
Yeah.
world, because people would do the cha-cha slide or the Mississippi shuffle or the biker shuffle and things like that nature will definitely grow you to be a fan favorite amongst generation to generation. And I think that's where you really win in this. Like, all right, if you have a young core fan base, you're winning. But if you don't, like, you gonna you gotta be able to get grandma out there, and that's the only thing I feel like DJs kind of miss. They feel like, all right, I got the top 20 records, and what about everybody else? Because they're not even into what's going on today.
Right.
You got to be able to
Yeah.
go back a little bit.
Exactly. That's so
when I
true.
do decide to create music, it's gonna be for everybody.
Okay.
And then I'll indulge into a specific category. But that'll be coming in 2021. I look forward to doing my DJ Khaled type of thing.
Okay, so we were gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's get into it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that was my question. Like, what type of music? Because I know you said you could read the music. So obviously you're musically inclined. But
Right.
like, are you looking to rap, sing, all of the above? And then you just mentioned DJ Khaled. So I was wondering, how are you gonna go about breaking in, launching your music career?
I mean, I used to write rhymes like everybody did, as a kid, and rhymes was pretty good with me. But I know that there's other people who are more gifted in that area, and I also understand that sometimes it's not about the actual performer; it's more about the person who does the production, and those people' career even lasts a little longer than the artist. The artist might get into a scandal or whatever, or they married the wrong person and things go upside down. But the people who produce the music and create the music can always write a song for somebody, or make a collaboration happen that nobody could see happening because they're using a network. And I feel
Yeah.
like DJs, that is where our strong point is. I know Crips and Bloods, and when they come to my parties, I tell them, like, you've been selected to come here, so this is business today. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you got going on in the street, but what I do know is you make drill music, he makes drill music, and if I'm doing a drill music, concert tour indoor, you guys gotta work together because you guys are the show.
Yeah.
So on today, you're working as a unit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because that's what people want to hear.
Yeah,
So you got to put
exactly.
all the other stuff to the side. And the most beautiful records in the world to this day, and I don't know what the beef really was between Tupac and Biggie Smalls, but every time they had a record together, it seemed to be like,
Bigger.
yeah, super bigger than anything
Yeah.
else. You have to listen to the whole thing. Hold
Yeah.
up, don't cut it off. You got to hear
Yeah.
Tupac's part. No, don't cut it off. You got to hear Biggie's part. But if you look in the outside world, everybody's like, how did they get these two on the same song? And they definitely had to come through with the right DJs knowing who and the production people in the background. And I think that's the people who really move and shake the industry.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, I want to definitely say good luck with the music career. I had another question, being that you're a DJ and I'm sure you've spent a lot of records. What are some of your favorite records to spend? Whether it was, we can do present, past. I just want to know, like, just to get,
I want to be honest with you. Classic music is the best thing. All right, I feel like classic 80s, even 90s stuff. It makes you feel different. I don't know if it's people who have. I've watched my son and people who haven't even been around for that era and listen to that music and they know the songs and I'm like, wait a minute, how do you know these songs? Like you weren't even born yet. I don't get it. But what I do know is those songs are classical records because they feel different. You know, they're all right. Not only do they sound different, but they feel different. I don't know what it is, and I hope we can get back to that. But R&B music is the #1 mood changing record. Like that you can play. Like you can't R&B. It does different things for people. It's easier for people, you know, if they're feeling, itchy, or whatever they scratch, the itch, whatever. However, I'm trying to say, but those records, they'll make a beautiful woman dance with an ugly man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can happen because of the way those records make you feel. I used to do this thing called Sex Session Radio. And Sex Session Radio was dope. And I used to do this thing called the Sex Session. They used to book me at clubs to DJ for about 15 to 20 minutes. They would pay me max money as if I was DJing for a full hour. But these events were in the city, and they were like with the roughest, toughest crowds. And they booked me to tone things down on purpose.
Okay.
So you would think like, oh man, all these gangsters in here from the Bronx and Harlem and this and that. But when I started playing the R&B, these guys almost automatically knew it's time to get ready to take something home. So they would come and approach women with the right way, and they would be like, yo, DJ, you killed it. And they'd give me all the props in the world because I'm getting them lucky, by creating a certain energy and vibe in the room, you know?
Yeah. So do you love doing hip hop music too? Like,
yeah, I like hip hop. I love the way it is. I do like where it's going a little.
Okay.
A little. I don't want to say I love it because everything kind of sounds the same.
Yes, nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
A lot of AAAs and even the South stuff. I mean, I feel like the drill music is more of a up north type of thing.
Okay.
And the music that's rocking right now down south, the girls with the twang and the guys with the twang, they always gonna win to me because I think at first we still listen to them and think they will sound funny, or whatever, and we want to kind of like poke fun. But however, the reason why they always are going to be on the top of the hip hop market is because they stick together different down south. So they'll push the next young cat up the ladder or pull him up the ladder if necessary.
Yeah.
Here up here where we are, it's like he ain't gangster like that. He not like how he is in the records. Then he ain't real like that. You know what I'm saying? So, that could be the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you understand. It seems like every time somebody from up north gets really hot, it's not a positive thing for them. Either somebody's trying to take them out or do something crazy. And, I got a chance to work with, the late great Pop Smoke right previously before.
Oh, really?
We
gotta get into that.
Yeah. So at the time, this was like December, and he was blowing up with the record, Welcome to the Party record, right? It started hitting, and then he started dropping more songs, and he's, I knew he had relationships with 50 Cent, and I'm like, dang, when these big guys reach down and they're hanging out with them, they're gonna go. And I said, we've been trying to book the guy. We've been trying to book Pop Smoke. We've been trying to book Fabio. We've been trying to book all the young brothers from Brooklyn that was making a lot of noise. However, every time we want to book them for shows and get them some money, they seem to have a block on them to perform everywhere. So it was like, nope, you can't do them in Queens. You can't do them in Brooklyn. You definitely can't do them in the city. I mean, major concerts are coming through their book, and right before, people buy their tickets, and then they're wiping these guys off and saying that they can't come.
Really?
So, I mean, and that has something to do with the gang relation thing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, well, who told the police that these guys are gang affiliates. Like,
right.
this is business. And once
Right.
again, this is me telling you, when you're coming to do music, you have to leave whatever it is that you do at home on the outside. It's going to affect your pockets. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's why,
Yes.
that's the real reason why I'm like, I'm friends with this gangster and that gangster. They both do music. They have to learn to, when they come to the table,
To work.
and that's it. This is
Yes.
a job.
Right.
You don't love your boss. You don't like your coworkers.
Yes.
But you like that check, don't you?
Right.
So you're gonna deal with whatever it is for the day, time being, and when you get off the clock, you are who you are on the outside.
And they have to remain professional, don't you think? Like
Oh.
at all times when you're doing it in front, like
But
like
that's
you
the
said.
thing about being an artist nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like, when they do get the spotlight, they do have to do something, off the, like
Crazy
Yeah,
to
they do.
get the attention. You
Yeah, it's
think?
it's the controversy, it's the attention, it's the tabloids. I mean, that's how people get blue checked on Instagram. You have to have blogs, you have to have dope interviews like the ones I'm doing with you right now.
Thank
Stuff like
you.
this is what gets you, verified and certified, because
Okay.
somebody is concerned, and your story is worthy to somebody.
Yeah.
So back to the Pop Smoke booking situation. So I couldn't get the kid. They was blocking all his stuff because of what they
Wow.
said he was doing and with the gang affiliation. However, I came across a spot in Long Island, and it was Stereo Garden. Dope venue, huge. I'm gonna be honest with you. Those folks there are kind of racist, but they do like green money. So what I did was, I said, we're gonna bring. I mean, I know predominantly white, but hip hop is the number one music right now.
Right now, yeah.
Next to EDM and everything else, but still number one.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere without playing hip hop right now.
Wow.
I mean, nowhere.
Wow.
Even though the EDM clubs and so forth and so on, they still have to mix a little bit of hip hop culture into what they're doing, even on those fast, weird beats or whatever. However, and I know because I've been around.
Yeah.
So long story short, with the Stereo Garden thing, so they were allowing us to spend this type of money to book these artists in these situations. And so when we came across Pop Smoke, we realized that there was a difference between the Long Island police department system and the New York City police department system. So what happened is, yes, they did have heightened security on the night that we booked him, but the club did not block him, and the police did not block him. So we were able to do the show with him. So it was an amazing show. Like,
Oh, amazing.
The crowd was 50-50, like 50% white, 50% minorities, and he put on a hell of a show that night. And the bottom line is, at the end of the day, they did turn people away that night because they had too much red on or too much blue on. And this is like a crime unit that came out to monitor the situation, I guess. So it didn't turn out to be what they expected. And it was one of the most beautiful nights I've done. Like one
Wow.
of the most beautiful nights I've worked with bigger artists than he could have been,
Yeah.
But still to this day, I feel like that was one of those special shows that I've
Yeah.
done,
Yeah.
And I got to speak to young brother, really down to earth kid, and backstage, we was kicking it, and I was just telling him like, yo, I know this drill thing is popping, but I really want to hear different music, like different. I want to hear what your sound sounds like,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I'm working on some new stuff. You're gonna love the album, blah blah blah. And the album came out, and sure enough, at first everybody was kind of down in it, like he's doing too much, yeah, and the singing and all that. But now they can't stop listening to it.
Yeah.
Everything he got out is
Everything.
hot.
Yes,
So it's
everything
Like, I
he's
mean,
doing.
that happens when you pass on.
That,
which I
that's so
understand.
weird though to me.
Yeah, that's
Like
fact.
you wonder, why do some artists get bigger when they leave, while they're here. It's like they're struggling to really, really pop on the scene, and then once they're gone, they make a bigger impact in the industry.
I think it's mostly because the way it's set up now.
Okay.
Your fans are kind of mixed in with your haters.
Oh, my
so it's
God.
like a collect thing. You know what I'm
Wow,
saying?
that's interesting.
I look at it that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, like, those folks have to look back, even if they didn't like him, and then they have to look at his full body of work of what he had, and they have to judge and say, damn, he did way better. He did more better than he did bad. So
Yeah.
eventually you have to give him his flowers.
Yeah.
You have no choice. That was a short time of life to live.
It really was.
And for him to get where he is, and impact people's lives the way he did musically,
Yeah.
you got to give him his credit.
You do.
Even if you don't like him.
Absolutely.
Because everybody raps. But
Yeah.
not everybody gets to that level. Not
Exactly,
that fast.
not that fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was. Thank you for talking about that, because I didn't know that you work with him, and I love his music too.
Yeah.
I wanted to go into. You said you had worked with bigger artists than
Yes.
Pop Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me some of the artists that you work with?
Yeah. One of my favorite artists that I work with that was a little bit bigger was I worked with Fab multiple times, and that was always like one of my favorite artists. I grew up to Fab, you know, back in the days he had his Harlem shaking until now he's still got the mixtapes out with the his partner Jada Kiss and all that. So I work with Fab. I work with Rose. I work with I got even
You said Rose?
yeah, Rick Ross.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to make sure. I'm like, what?
Rick Ross, Jeezy. The list goes on and on. I've done 50 Cent a couple of times.
Amazing.
I like that crew too. They're very very down to earth. And once they found out I was from Southside, it was like every time Tony Yayo saw me, he was like, "Yo, Hot Rod, get on. You know what we need." And he wants me to play the classic 50 Cent G-Unit set before they walk on the stage. And then when they get good and ready, then they come out, and it's dope. It's like I'm one of their DJs, but not officially, you know. But just when they see me in a club, it's like I'm the go-to guy, especially when they don't have their own guy.
Yeah.
Which is another situation. And like with Fab, one time I walked up to them, and the hardest thing for us is we like to book the artists to show up. You know what I mean? And we try to sneak performances, and you know what I mean? Everybody needs that. Like, we don't want to pay the performance price, but we want to make sure that they say something. Just say something to the people.
Yeah.
So I think the first time I worked with Fab, I tried to walk up and hand him the microphone and find out which song he wanted us to play so he can try to perform. And I don't know if you know about the Street Fam or whatever, his crew, they're a different type of Brooklyn cats, man. I ain't go front. They was like, yo, homie. I'm like, damn, they give me this stiff arm. Like, hold up. I'm like, yo, I'm the DJ. He's like, oh, I got it. I'm like, okay, damn. So I know Fab seen that. Then the next time, I think I took a group picture with him and the owner and the promoter. I'm like, this ain't the look I wanted. You feel me? And then the third time in Poughkeepsie, he came in. I mean, I killed the show before, and I know that artists watch the club footage before they walk in. I know they do. So I said, you know what? I'm going to kill this place tonight. I know Fab's not here, but I'm going to kill this place tonight. Because I know when he does look in, I want him to see that I'm killing it and lighting the show up. Like, I know he got my man DJ Booth, and Booth is going to play a couple of records we all know he's going to play before he plays them. But that's okay, because the crowd's going to get excited because Fab's about to come out.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is I wanted the energy of the crowd to be on an all-time high.
Yeah.
So to make it better for everybody. They do great. He does even better. Like, Fab will sit there and perform for like an hour if the energy's right in the room. You know what I'm saying? Because he got that much music. So the bottom line is he came out. He killed it. And as soon as he finished this time, I ain't gonna lie, as soon as he finished that, I just came down the steps to just chill, grab my laptop. It's time to go now. As he performed all the way to the end, he got off the stage and he came over to me. He said, yo, what's up? Put his arm around me like, yo, take this picture. I'm like, damn. Like,
oh, really?
I'm like, oh, you just gonna?
Oh,
all right.
wow.
I'm with this. But I think he did it because, he saw me 3 times already.
Okay.
I'm consistently working. I'm not trying to do nothing I ain't supposed to. And sometimes people are gonna give you, you're gonna give you that little pat on your back when you're doing the right thing. And so I appreciated that. And that was one of my favorite artists. So yeah.
Awesome. Let's talk about that. You just said something that was also my next question. You talked about consistently working. I actually follow you on Instagram, and I see that you're constantly traveling. You're Costa Rica, you're here, you're there, you're Vegas.
That tour life is different.
You're everywhere. So let's talk to the people about how you've been managing during the COVID, keeping busy, like you said, and always working. Like, what have you been doing to maintain and keep going out here?
All right, so with the trips and the touring,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, like, it started off from very humble beginnings. I noticed once I was able to DJ for any color, red, brown, yellow, any crowd, any age. I said, you know what? I'm missing something. I'm watching the David Guettas and the other the Marshmallow Head Kid, and these guys out here getting $100,000-$200,000 to DJ for arenas, and they're doing the same
100 and 200,000
format that I'm doing, but they're playing different genres of music and they're getting it done.
Okay.
Yeah, but they also create their own music. They make their own music, so they have a different type of fan base.
Okay.
They're like Jay-Z, Beyonce of music
Of
that
DJ,
has
DJ.
no lyrics to it. Exactly.
Yeah,
EDM
yeah.
music, just creating different mixes, blends, trends, things of that nature. And so people like pay a lot of money for that, and for a great producer or composer, to watch them in the studio live is something that people would like to see. Most people don't sell it because mistakes are made and it takes time, but these guys
Yeah.
perfected the craft to the point in which they're doing live mixing that nobody's ever heard, and they have huge fans, and they're like, I'm paying $100 to see a DJ from the rafters, but that's how they get their money.
Yeah.
So long story short, I'm like, you know what? I can play anywhere. I like to travel. I'll go travel, and I'll contact a couple of venues, and I'll go out and do what I normally do. Me and my guys, we go out, we spend our money, we make the places nice, and then my management, they reach out and say, hey, Hot Rod's the DJ from New York. Oh, he's from New York? And that normally opens up most doors right away. And they say,
Oh,
we can
wow.
work something out. Now, most places that I travel to, their budget is not the best in the world, and I can respect it, you know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, Costa Rica, I basically bring the uptown vibes and different Spanish music that they haven't heard, alongside with the New York sound, because that's what they play there. They play a lot of hip hop as well.
Okay.
But it's the way that we play the music. We have a style. It's a different type of style from New York City. I just feel like, it's something embedded us to just not be corny. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm corny. You know what I mean? Like I'm quirky and stuff. It is what it is. But that's
Okay.
who I am. You feel me? But when it comes down to this music, it ain't nothing funny about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's serious business. And so Costa Rica was a great hit. Now the trip slowed down. Certain things slowed down since COVID. Only thing different in the clubs right now, they still want to come out and see me and party, but now the people that don't have a lot of money can't, because the clubs are only accepting people that are doing bottle service. You can only be seated at these clubs that hold 300 people. You can only have like 50 in there now, because they just want to have enough people in the areas designated, with the COVID, the social distancing parameters. And so that's the only thing that's a downtick. But the uptick in what's going on right now is the fact that my partner Pre from BT, shout out to him, he put together a pandemic tour. And I don't know if you guys know, but most other cities and states are a little bit more loose with the COVID thing, even though they're getting hit a little harder now, but they were just more lax. Like in Atlanta, I know the parties are still going on.
Oh, really?
I'll be honest with you, I'm a little afraid of Atlanta right now. But
Yeah.
that's because they never took a break. Like, so I don't know if you get off the plane, you're gonna get it. I have no clue, but I'll try them back in 2021.
Yeah,
when things open back up officially.
Absolutely.
But
Smart.
right now, we're setting up to go to Texas for the pandemic tour.
Okay.
And I noticed that when I was home, that a certain people that was missing out on being outside, and I feel like as a DJ, I have to take care of people. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of the dancers. I'm gonna play the good music so the spenders can come out. They can make their money easy. I'm gonna play artist music so they're not just in the studio recording for no reason and somebody gets to hear it.
Yeah.
I really don't believe in the streaming thing so much. I know it's a big hit and it's a big deal, but I also know that numbers can dictate what things seem to appear to be with the financial stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I like to go with the real feel. So I will always open my doors for artists to come out, perform at my spots, or have their music played. Of course, it comes with something. And I don't charge people to have their music on, on my platform because I want to charge them.
Okay.
It's just because if I do it for you, then I got to do it for him and him and him and her. And I really want to do it for who wants it the most.
Yeah.
I put a lot of pain, energy, time, and money into, my music, my equipment, my craft, everything I do. And it's like I paid it forward to get to this point. If someone believes in their music like that, they want to make sure that they're going to do what they got to do to get it there. If they believe that that's where it belongs.
Exactly. That's so true.
If it doesn't belong there,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are certain artists that I look at and say, "Dag, your joint is hot. I think you should come here." And they're like, "Well, I get paid to perform," and and I understand that's tricky. But we're doing a pandemic tour for those who want to get out and perform during the pandemic. Been on lockdown for about 8 months going on now.
Yeah.
That we haven't really been functioning normally, and I think the artists deserve a stage to perform on now just to get a couple of reps in.
Where are you guys? I know you said Texas in the beginning.
Austin. We're going to be
So
going
starting in Austin, and then how many cities, and then what other states are you
Okay, so we
going
got
to?
41 cities.
Oh, wow.
41 states. Okay, 41 states.
Amazing.
And multiple cities. So this week we'll be doing Austin, and then we go.
This week?
Yeah, this week I'm going to Austin. Tomorrow I'm flying out to Austin.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
I'm glad we got this in
Yeah,
before the trip. So
yeah,
shout out to all the folks in
amazing.
Texas. Get ready.
Yes.
I got my Vegas hat on because that was my last trip. So shout out to everybody at Vegas. Ignore the jacket because Caesars definitely took some of my money. But definitely shout out to Vegas. That was a great experience. I did like a little strip club underground vibe there. I've been killing that, you know. And like I said, I'm doing that because that's the only place that I can take care of multiple people at once. I can take care of the girls that need an extra couple dollars, and I can also take care of the artists that want to get their music on display, you know.
Okay.
So like I said, we got Texas, we're going to hit Dallas, we're going to hit Austin, and then we're going to make our way back around. I believe we're going to go to DMV next, and then bring it back to the East Coast, and then we'll go back out west again. We're definitely going to do LA, and Miami, and then hopefully Atlanta, you know, later next year, you know.
Okay. So do you have all the artists for this tour yet, or?
We book artists during the tour.
Okay.
Because a lot of different things do come up. Like what we're doing is bringing artists from New York City who have came out and auditioned with us. We're bringing them on board, and we're also bringing on board artists that's in the inner cities that we're visiting that want to be exposed. And they, you know, they take care of what they got to take care. They get on stage and do what they do, and we, you know, basically bridging the gap. You know.
And are these big? So how many people are they doing? Is it like the 50 people? What is it?
We get the thing about this COVID thing, as everybody knows, is that we need to be 6 feet apart. We need to have our mask on. We need not to be on top of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So the bigger the venue, obviously, like the more people we can have.
Yeah.
So I mean, like right now, if we could get a venue for 1,000 people, we can get, you know, 250 in there comfortably because it's a lot of space. You know what I'm saying? So we can put people, chairs spaced out, have a big stage, and so forth and so on. So we've been looking for bigger venues, and we're working with a smaller crowd. And making it do what it do with that, so we can have the space, so we're not, you know, all over each other. And it's very difficult working in this pandemic. I was very nervous at first.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you've been able to. So, if you don't mind, we can talk about COVID. You said it was very difficult at first. So, how have you been staying safe from the virus throughout the traveling and stuff?
All right. So, first things first. I believe that when we initially went to Costa Rica, they made us take the COVID test before we went there. They made us get insurance while we're there, medical insurance from their country in case we did get sick, that we can have something to cover us, because they're saying that our medical coverage is not good in international states.
Yes.
So that's one thing. That's when I knew it was for real and serious. Another thing that we've been doing is, of course, the thermometer check at the door. You know, we purchased that. We also make sure that we have masks available for everyone. I noticed that people take their mask off to eat, drink, smoke hookah, whatever, and then they don't return it, you know, back where it needs to be. We also keep the sanitizers all around and so forth and so on. These events that we do, though, and I just feel like if people are sick, you know, they first need to stay home.
That's so true.
I
couldn't agree more. That's the same thing I stress. It's so important. Like, if you
going
know
out
it,
is not that serious to get other people sick.
Exactly. So true. So true. So Costa Rica, you did Costa Rica, Vegas, now Texas. So are there any other places that you want to go and DJ that you haven't been?
Yes, there is a couple. I want to do my China run. I want to definitely DJ in Africa. And it's another place that I want to go. I guess I gotta go to Paris. You know, I gotta do my European tour over there. And there's a couple of other places that I haven't hit, but I think once I do that, it's almost a wrap. It's almost a wrap.
Gotcha.
I gotta hit those other continents first. I want to hit each one, and that's important to me.
Yeah. So let's get before we wrap it up, we can get just a little bit personal for like your fans, and then probably your female fans that are probably wondering, is DJ Hot Rod single, taken,
Right.
or what the situation is?
Right.
Do you mind sharing?
No, I mean it's fine with me.
Okay.
I just feel like there's a dope post that came up the other way. But like when you have the right woman, like you almost like you're almost like printing money. Like you really printed it. But that's when you got the right one.
Yeah.
You got other ones where you get with them and there's no money. Like you're just working and there's no bread because she knows how to spend it before you make it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. So right now, yes, I do have a partner, a girlfriend, and she's very, she's very helpful with my business. There's no way in the world that I would be able to perform and make sure the finances are righteous at the same time. Just too much stuff would slip over my nose. I felt like for the first, for the first 10 years of my career or more, I've probably been getting jerked around,
Oh, wow.
But,
sorry to hear that.
Part of it is because it's not that I don't value, the finances, or I'm not like, I need $1,000 to come outside today. It's just more or less like, I felt like if I get more gigs for a reasonable price, then I'll get a bigger and better name out there. And then I would be in this position that we're in now, where it's like, you know exactly what you're going to get, pay it for it. Instead of somebody who's going to phase their own selves out by believing that they're somewhere that they're not. But you need fans. You need people who can, say like, yo, nah, I had him for this. This is the only DJ I work with. He did this, that, and the third. If somebody tells you they got that type of person, you're like, I'll look into that. But the guy that's like, yo, the dude on the radio, I could get him. And you're like, how much? He's like, yeah, 3,000. You're like, I mean, I know he's, but what does that matter? So, like I said, the relationships is like way more important to me than the money. You know what I mean? Even with my clients and the people I work with, I'm fair. I'd rather be fair. Like I can't go, 6 feet under with the money, but I could go down with a good legacy. I can go down with something that's remembered. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather go that route, and that's just what it's really been. So like when it comes to the ladies, yes, I love girls. I love the women. I ain't gonna lie. But I know that there's like you can have relationships with females, and for me, I'm the type of person if I know I could get it, I'm good enough. I feel like I'm good enough with that. I'll just leave that. I'll see you in dreamland. It's not no real big deal, And sometimes, you be, put yourself in a position where you get into something and it's not even worth it. And I don't want to lose a great thing for a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those type of guys.
Gotcha. So, is it easy or hard doing the relationship in the business as a DJ for you? Like,
yeah, I would say it's difficult. I've had a relationship with my son's mom for and we got engaged and everything. And when it came to this music thing, it's like, you choose that music over everything. You don't make time and blah blah. And it's like, well, it's a booking. It's work. It's on a schedule. It's on a calendar. I'm not putting it there. Somebody's requested my services on this day, and it comes a line where you gotta say, you know what? Either I'm gonna take time off and do something grandeur that my family is gonna really, love and remember. If I'm gonna be busy all the time, or I'm not gonna do it. And there's plenty of times I was like, damn, should I just quit DJing and make you happy?
oh wow, it made you think about quitting.
Yeah.
And this is your passion.
Right. So that's why I had the question, like, is this the right person?
Right.
I don't think they understand. This is bringing me happiness. Like,
right.
I enjoy what I do every day.
When you're doing your purpose and you're doing something that you love, your partner should add to that, not make you want to take your passion and you got to choose. You should never have to do that.
Because then you're going to spend all your time watching every little thing I'm doing and all this and other stuff. But if you're really, behind me and know that I'm out here doing what I love to do and I'm going to come home and love you and everybody else. I'm like, you know what? Go do what you do so you can get back and so forth and so on. But I think I kind of found that now. But
That's
that's
a
good
good.
news for me, you know?
Yes, that's great news. Whenever you can find, you can do what you love and have a partner beside you that supports you. That's the best thing. Like you can't ask for more, you know. So I'm happy that you got that. Good luck to you guys in the future. So is there anything that you want to talk to your fans about that I might not have asked
You
you?
had some good stuff today.
Oh,
You did. You
good,
did a great
good.
job.
Thank you.
But I definitely want to share with my fans that um, right now is a very crucial time and it's difficult. And I've got a lot of hit ups from people that I didn't expect to say, "Hey, man, you killing it. You're doing good. I don't know how you're doing it with this craziness going on."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, be honest. The reason why I'm going so hard right now is because I don't know if everybody's paying attention, but the lights are on really bright right now. Like meaning like they can see everything and they're watching everything. It's nothing really going on like it was. It's not as crowded in the streets. It's not as much. And that was always the
That's
problem
so
with New
true.
York City. Like, how could you know what you got if it's a million people trying to do the same thing, So right now, while it's at an all time low, I want to make sure that I make my mark. And so keep hoping that this thing goes away soon. We'll be back, better than we were before, in better position.
Yes.
Lot new deals came through from Bel Air to iHeart to BT. There's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes
Yeah.
that we can't even explore yet because of but these
COVID.
relationships are
Yeah.
being made. So if you see me going crazy, I'm trying to stay safe and get more deals so when outside is open we can go to the top with it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's pretty much it. I just want people to know that I'm not working because I'm hungry or I gotta eat or I need your money. It's really because I gotta practice just as hard as when the game is going on if I want to win chips. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I consider COVID. This whole thing is just a test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's practice. And I know everybody had a mental reset where
Yeah.
if you didn't know what you want to do in life, you know kind of what you
Yeah.
want to do now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
definitely. I
and
think
so
so. I agree.
I'm with that. I
Yeah.
definitely know what I want to do, and I'm going to keep exploring these creative ideas and
Yeah.
see what it do. You know.
Amazing, amazing. I definitely excited that you came aboard and to do this thing. Actually, one of your Vegas people was just watching and tuning in. They're like, "Yeah, Vegas." So did you get the hat? This is off of the interview. Did you get the hat in Vegas when you went?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I got the
nice,
hat in
nice.
Vegas when I went. It was nice. It was in the
Yeah.
front.
The Vegas people are saying, "Yay, you're wearing the Vegas." But I definitely like appreciate you like coming through and being a part of the show and definitely just giving us a rundown. I feel like I know a lot about you now.
Yeah.
You really was into detail about your past and exactly who you are. And I want to wish you the best with your career moving forward, your relationship. And is there some places that people can check for you that you want them to tune in to catch you? You
Okay.
can definitely let them know.
Okay, so if you guys want, you can check out iHeart. They have a page there now, and next week I will be putting up a top 10 playlist where I'll be,
Awesome.
weekly. I'll be trying to insert new artists to be exposed on
Platform?
that platform. That's correct.
Awesome.
So I'll be looking for dope new artists. If you're tuned in, send your music, submit it. I'll be doing a couple of little events here and there that you can pull up right on me and just submit it when you see me. I mean, via email or in person. Airdrop it to me if you get next to me. And I don't do those flash drives, so no flash drives, guys. Those damage my computer. But I'll
Yeah.
definitely take the airdrop or email, and I'll definitely give you a song to listen. I'll be putting together some shows coming up where I'll be getting back to the hot or not, where I'll be playing like the hot. Well, I'll play records and people will vote it hot or thumbs down for not. And it's a couple of other shows I'll be bringing back. Even Sex Session Radio, we'll be talking about the birds and the bees, and
Oh,
and I'll play a little
nice.
R&B, and it's cool. I'm
Very
looking forward to that.
nice.
Looking forward to get back to that and take
Yeah.
some breaks from these from outside, so everybody can get better faster, and we get back to what's really going on.
Yes. And tell them where they can find you on all of your social media
Okay.
platforms.
Well, you can find me on Twitter, I believe at The Real DJ Hot Rod. Also Facebook, Sherrod Hot Rod Harris. And I also have an international Facebook. I believe it's International Caliente. I don't know why, but I asked the girl one time in Costa Rica, how do you say hot rod in Spanish? She was like, Rod Caliente. And I was like, oh, Rod Caliente. Like, why is it not Caliente Rod? But, in Spanish, sometimes they put certain words before the other one. But, I took the name on.
Nice.
And, like, again.
And then Instagram, where can they find you?
Oh, I got 1 million pages. But the number one page is if you type in DJ Ho, you don't even got to put the T because, I'm going to be number one at the top. They'll say DJ Hot Rod, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not really, I'm just I'm trying to be funny.
Right, I caught that one.
In my past life, that used to be me, but not anymore.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, DJ Hot Rod.
Thank you so much for having me.
Interviewing with Lakithia Nicole Talk. We really appreciate you and wish you the best with everything that you have coming up. Safe travels, and I hope to work with you again.
All right. Me too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.